Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith.
Welcome back. Appreciate you locking in with us. I'm Atwood, killer to my left, the ass assassin, Austin Coleman.
What up?
Local pro fighter here at the Academy, Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Did an embedded on him a little while back. About to do another embedded on him. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Before we talk about the next fight, right? Because you do have one booked. Let's talk about the last fight.
All right.
Talk about, leading up to the fight, the mindset, and then for those who don't know, how the fight played out.
Okay. Yeah, the camp was good. Obviously I'm always working hard. It's not, it's not like the work wasn't being put in. I had a late opponent change. Can't remember how many days out it was. I want to say it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was like 14 days
You
out.
actually found out about it while we were filming the embedded.
Yeah, while we were filming, yeah. So, that was weird in general, and the styles between the two, like the guy that replaced my other opponent he's just a lot more aggressive, and I knew he would try to, pressure me and try to take me down, and the opponent that I was supposed to fight, he was more of a jiu-jitsu guy who, once he got taken down, he's going to try to close his guard and try to submit you and stuff like that. Not as dangerous, I don't think. So I think I definitely had a harder opponent with the opponent change. But besides that, I mean, the fight, it started out great. You know what I mean? He shot it on me just like I thought, split my legs, went to my Kimura sweep, got straight to his back. He stood up, and just really just a tactical error. Once I was on his back, I got my body triangle. That was locked up really good.
And held that for the entire first round.
Yeah, about three. I think it was. I saw on the clock. It was like about 3 minutes straight. I held that body triangle, and it's really tough, especially when you go for 2 rear naked chokes and you don't get them. I was also punching for a lot of the time that I was on top of him.
And you had your arm trapped on the other side as well.
He wouldn't let go of my arm, which made it kind of weird hanging on him. You know what I mean? It was good. It helped me like kind of hook his arm and kind of stay up there well, but it also was a little more tiring than how I would have wanted to be on there,
Right.
But really the issue was that once I missed that second rear naked choke and I felt my legs getting tired, and I couldn't get out of my head that my legs were going to be smoked for the next 10 minutes of the fight. You know what I mean? So I started to kind of panic. I let go of the body triangle. That kid didn't do anything to get out of it. I simply let go, and when I let go, I kind of we were still really close to the cage, and I know my feet kind of hit the bottom of the cage, and he did a good job turning and facing and getting right to my legs. And he scooped me off the fence, and I got to half guard, and I tried to wrestle up a couple times, and he was being busy with his ground and pound. He did a good job of kind of realizing that I was tired, and not only tired but mentally panicking as well, and that just can't happen in a fight. You know what I mean? I have to stay calm. I have to get my wits about me, and if anything, I need to get to a position where I can protect myself and make it to that bell, because with the portion that I was on his back and working, I probably still would have won the round, and would have had that entire minute to have DK and Nick relax me and pretty much tell me. I guess I needed that pick me up in between the rounds, and unfortunately, the ref called it because I wasn't doing a good job of moving. I kind of shelled up there at the end, and I'm kind of, in a way, because I really want to fight that dude again, because I know he's not better than me. It's just, and I know that sounds sour when coming off of a loss to him in the first round, but I really just don't believe it. It's kind of like the same belief that O'Malley has over Cheeto. You know what I mean? Yes, on the record, yes, he did, but like something happened in the fight. Yes, I didn't have an injury or anything like that, but I will say that I weighed, about 138, 139 pounds going into that fight, and I fight at 136. You know what I mean? So the weight was weird. I always have to cut weight for a fight, and I really didn't have to for this fight. I was just naturally small, and I don't know if that played a part in my energy. But like I said, I'm happy that it happened in a way though, because I think that I needed to feel that, I guess, disappointment and to be quite honest with you, shame, because that's not how I want to represent myself. I'm a dog, and I know I'm a fighter with a really big heart too. I'm a huge Rocky fan. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I grew up. I admire those people, and the winning and losing, I care about it because you need to win to make it to the next level. But it's more about knowing. I want to be proud of myself when I walk out of the cage in March. And I think that as long as I do everything in my power to be proud of myself, then the win's going to take care of itself. I don't have to think about it. You know what I mean? So it was like a reality check. You know what I mean? When I lost that last fight, I was like, wow, okay, so, talent isn't the only thing that's going to get me here, because I know how good I am. It's just, if every talented fighter could make it to the UFC, there'd be a lot more numbers in the UFC. But it's not just talent. A lot more weight
classes.
You know what I mean? A lot more weight classes, a lot more people that would be knocking on the door, and it would be, but it's not just talent that gets you there. There's a lot more involved in it, and a lot of people don't realize that. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that I don't really care to, share with people, because I think that it's meant to, I don't know. I think you have to just go through it yourself to really understand it, because I can talk about it all day, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, backstage, even right before the fight. It's crazy.
And a lot of those are probably emotions that you couldn't even explain, and even if you could explain it to somebody who hasn't been through it or hasn't witnessed it firsthand, they wouldn't be able to understand it. No. Like, we can all sit back and imagine what it's like. That's easy. Right? Like, we can try to put ourselves in that position. When I say we, I mean people who don't fight.
Right.
And we could try, we can think we can do a good job of mentally putting ourselves in that position to feel those feelings and emotions. But to actually feel them is something that you can't explain. And I've been fortunate enough the past 6 months to be able to see both sides, right? That's one of the reasons why I love doing these embedded episodes and why I wanted to do it to begin with, because most people don't get a chance to see the work put in. They just see the product. They just see it on fight night. They don't get to see and we have fun too, right? Like, we went golfing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be pleasure in the pain. But so they don't see the work put in. They don't see, and dude, there's clips. So this time, hopefully, I'll be able to get some backstage footage of you. The last time, I was like shooting in a better for you and Jeremiah, and I had already committed to going to Canton, so I couldn't go to. And your fight was the week before, so I couldn't go to Atlanta and then go to Canton. But this time I'll be there, and I'll be able to get the backstage, pre-fight stuff on you. But just seeing it on Jeremiah, man, it's like, and Jeremiah is a very charismatic person.
Absolutely.
Right. But just seeing it, bam, seeing the moment, it switches for him. Like, it kind of, it gives me goosebumps, man, because it's almost a scary thing to witness. When you can tell, like the BKFC fight right before he walked out, you could tell that dude was like, he was ready. But in his head, it was like, holy shit. We're here, bare knuckle. This is new.
It's real.
Biggest crowd I've ever fought in front of. Thousands, tens of thousands of people watching the pay-per-view. Like, and really, it's and I know Ring of Combat, which is who you're going to be fighting for up in Atlantic City. It's a bigger promotion. That's a breeding ground for the upper upper levels, right?
I think the last time I went there, somebody told me that they've sent like 150 something fighters to the UFC. So they,
Yeah.
so they've been on the looking for a fight. When Merab won by I think a spinning back fist against Rafion Stotts in like 15 seconds in the main event there, and then Dana went down to the locker rooms where we're all at before the fights and was like basically like you're in the UFC, and like they all went nuts or whatever. I forget what episode of Looking for a Fight that is, but
I didn't even know Marab came up on that.
Yep. Merab, Aljamain, like all them.
Well, yeah, Ray Longo, Matt Serra, yeah,
all them boys, and that's who cornered against me last time I was there. And I fought Steve Lee, and the cool part, the guy I'm fighting, we both beat Steve Lee, so it's kind of like and we also both beat Ahmed Khamis as well. We actually have 2 mutual wins. And so I think that's going to be kind of neat to see, who the man is.
Right.
Which I think it's going to be me, because there's the mindset's different going into this fight, and he's going to have to kill me to get me out of there. Like, that's just flat out of there. There's going to be no giving up. There's going to be no getting tired. If I do get tired, he ain't going to know I'm tired.
Right.
It's I'm ready for a war for 15 minutes, and I literally can't wait to be backstage and feel those feelings. And I'm gonna, I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? That's another thing that I realized in that last fight is even in the lowest lows we talk about, I'm very grateful for the position that I'm in. I do this for a living. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean? I train in the morning. I train at night. I do things in the middle and at night after training. I coach private lessons. I coach kids classes and stuff. This is what I do for a living. It's my whole life. And, I'm already grateful and living the life of a guy who's in the UFC. I just don't got the money in my bank account and the notoriety of those 3 letters on my resume. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, my life's pretty great, and that's all from my hard work and dedication to the sport. And, I have a really good mind for the sport. That's why I'm a coach as well. And, my mind is what's going to set me apart from a lot of these guys. On top of that, I'm not really looking at this as like a sport and a technical, I have all that already, but I need to bring that dog in there. I have to want to rip that dude's face off and not care about that dude's feelings or anything, it's gotta be me or him, and I have to believe that dude's really trying to take something from me. I have to want to prove that I'm better than him, and that's all that matters. Like the winning and the losing doesn't, like that those 2 words don't mean shit, and I just want to prove how good I am and prove that no matter what happens in the fight, whether it's going my way or I'm going to fight till the end. And I can't wait to prove that again, because I've done it before, you know what I mean? Several times, and for some reason these last couple fights. Now, the boy I fought before in Nashville in that main event fight that I had against Chris Ocon, that boy
was that the Underground?
Yeah, that boy is mean. He really is.
He fought on the Contender Series?
He fought on the Contender Series, and then he also got signed to Combate. I don't know if you've seen some stuff, but it's like I don't know if like a Latino like Mexican type promotion. It's like Spanish. Like they even speak Spanish on there and stuff. But it's actually kind of big, and he fought on there a few times, and he just beat Tial Tang in a 5-round fight after me. So he's really good, and I don't think I performed that well in that fight either. I just found out I got my retina torn in that fight because I didn't get my eyes really checked for the Atlanta fight. So, I haven't had my eyes checked since that Nashville fight, and when I got them checked, I found out that I had a little retina tear from that fight. And I remember because my eye was bloodshot inside, and I got hit with a weird left hook. It didn't even hit me hard. It's just his knuckle went straight into my eyeball, and I couldn't see him for a little bit. And besides the point, like I'm going off on a tangent, but he's I still don't think my mindset was good in that fight either. So I think the last 2 fights I've just really had to learn what's important to me, and what's important to me is proving that I'm a dog and that I'm a fighter, and that it's going to have to take a lot more to take me out now. You know what I mean? And it's like that. And I kind of feel obviously not quite to that level or whatever quite yet anyways. But I kind of feel like that switch that Charles Oliveira had, you know what I mean? I'm like losing and being 10.
Yeah, people don't know that about Charles. They only know the last 3 years.
Yeah, because people just jumped on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the people who really know, like, I saw that dude look like, I'll just be quite frank, a bitch. You know what I mean? That dude, I've seen that guy get hit with something, just give up and fall and now that guy is incredible, you know?
Yeah.
And I really do believe that it was just a little mindset change and and I guess we'll just break the news on here too. Just at least anyone who's watching and cares. I'm gonna be a dad.
I knew you were about to say that. That's news to me.
Yeah,
dude, congratulations.
Thank
bro.
you. Yeah, so that's pretty.
Did Ethan know?
Yeah, Ethan knows.
Fuck Ethan.
Yeah, fucking Ethan. yeah, he's
that's sick, dude.
Yeah, man.
As soon as you said to break the news on here, I was like,
yeah,
this motherfucker's about to say he's gonna be a dad.
Yep, and she's 8 weeks, and I think that's I guess it's weird, and I didn't really realize it, but I had a lot of relief when she told me. I wasn't like one of those dudes who's like, oh fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was relieved, and I was like, man, that's really really cool because. I believe everything happens for a reason. I know how motivating it feels to now not only do I want to do it to make myself proud, but someday, my kid's going to want to like look that stuff up and see it and, watch old videos, the embeddeds and stuff like that. And I want there to be not even just good results, but I want him to just see how hard I worked and how much I dedicated myself to this and how I never gave up and like I said, if I do all of that, I know I'm going to win. So it doesn't matter if I think about winning and losing. I just want to think about how I want to represent myself, and I want my unborn child to be proud of me and learn from it too. Because and the cool part is that he's going to get to see the losing side of it at first. You know what I mean? And I've won a lot of fights. You know what I mean? Like it's just coming off 2 losses, which is the first time I've ever had that happen.
Yeah.
Which really sucks. But
but
everyone has highs and lows, and that's
right,
what it's
and
all
it
about.
sucks, right? Obviously, especially when you do this for a living and the numbers matter, right? The record matters. Of course, it sucks, but you have to look at it as being necessary.
Yeah.
And it's such a cliche thing to say, but it wouldn't be cliche, and people wouldn't say it all the time if it weren't true. Like, it's the lessons that you learn from it, right? Like, DK says that shit all the time after, we'll have a bunch of people go to a tournament, maybe didn't get the turnout with medals that we wanted. There's lessons learned, right? So you could look at it as it's, some people, I don't want to say you, but some people might look at it as like, well, it's unfortunate that my lessons were, on the internet for everybody to see, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm very vulnerable.
right. Well, art in general is one of the most vulnerable things you can do. Whether you are a singer, you are a martial artist, you are, a musician, because you are putting your heart out there for everyone to criticize, right? So that's already, you're already in a vulnerable spot, but later on, man, it's like we're talking years from now, whenever you're able to look back on this shit, like you said, like one day when your kid or your kids get to look back on this, they might be like, wow, because by then it's like, it might be like dad's career, they could be fucking, how old are you? 27? 26. It could be 15 years from now. Well, dad's career is over, he went fucking 20 something and whatever. Yeah. And it's like, but this is one of the earliest things I can watch on his career, and he started off losing. Yeah. He lost twice in a row. But look at what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes back as being this part of the story, dude.
Yeah, it's all about that finish line and what's going to happen at the end. I plan on doing this for another 10 years. So yeah. I always envisioned myself being kind of done at 36, 37, especially with the way everyone's kind of fighting a little bit later now than they used to, because the career, because just from the way people understand how to take care of themselves now, I put a lot into my recovery. Probably not as much as I should, but I do a good job for the most part.
Literally everybody could say that, though.
Exactly. So, I think that I can do another 10 years, and I mean, 10 more years of fighting. I mean, you're talking about I so far I've done
30 to 40 fights.
Yeah, I'm calling them seasons. So in the first season, I fought 3 times as a pro. In my second season as a pro, I fought 3 times as well. So I'm already fighting in March for my first time this season, and I have a lot of time to get 2 more in. So I fight 3 times a year. And you talk about 10 years, that's 30 more fights. Let's see what my record is after 30 fights.
And I mean, dude, your body won't even hit its prime for another 3 or 4 years.
I know.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be very, very dangerous. And I can't.
Well, you already are, man.
Yeah.
You just dude, God, this is going to sound so fucking cliche, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it somewhere, but every hero has a setback.
Yeah.
There's no story of a hero ever that didn't take a shot to the balls at some point. You know what I mean? Like
100% right.
So, you took your lick.
Yep.
And there's going to be more licks. There's going to be more lessons learned, but it's just about how you respond to it. And me personally, I haven't gotten to experience you flip that switch yet because I haven't been there, and I'm excited to see that. And it's
last time I did, I felt like it would. Well, that's not true. I did in Rock Hill too after the Atlantic City fight the last time, but the Atlantic City fight is the first time as a pro where I was like, oh man, like this is for real. I'm like, Al Iaquinta was commentating the fight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got Aljamain Sterling and Matt Serra and Ray Longo in the corner of the guy I'm fighting. You got Marab in the crowd. You got, all these, named people. I'm signing posters. I'm fighting in a 4-star casino and I'm cutting weight in a spa. Like, it was like, man, this is what it's supposed to feel like as a pro. And like, I wanted to prove that I belong on that big of a stage. So, and that's simply why I won, because I wanted to prove that I meant, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, I already know I can do it. I just have to do it, Simple as that. I don't care what that kid brings. I don't care what he hits me with. I don't care if he takes me down. I don't care, and which he's not going to. Even if he's not going to. He likes to shoot to double legs and lift the dude up and slam it. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to happen. And if it does, I've been practicing. If I do happen to get taken out, I'm popping right back up. I'm getting my back off that cage, and I'll take you down. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm going to prove how good I am in this fight. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's going good or bad. At the end of the fight, it's going to be good. So it's time to go out there and show it. And I'm excited for you to see it too. I really am.
Dude, I'm just excited because like this. So the last embedded we did on you, like I said earlier, didn't get to go to Atlanta, so didn't get like the full experience. This time it's going to be very much like the Canton trip. It seems like as of right now, at least, we're going to rent a van. Dude, it's going to be like a 13, 14-hour drive.
Yeah.
So there's going to be content on the way, content there after we get the win, content then, content on the way home.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a trip.
It really is.
So people are going to get a better look at, Austin Coleman this time around than they did the last time around.
It's going to be a good one.
And so I'm excited for that. But more importantly, man, when you put the embedded, all the content shit aside, I'm excited for you because it's not often that people in a career, right, they get an opportunity for redemption. Yep. And that's one of the beautiful things about fighting too, because you can always redeem that loss. Mm-hmm. And it might not be on the same person, but you get to go and beat somebody else up legally,
right?
And get back in the win column, regain some of the wind in your sails, and go from there.
And if I don't ever get to fight that dude I fought in Atlanta again, we'll see where we're at the end of our careers and who made it to where, because that was a short time in when we look back on it. It's going to be a small thing for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if he does go off and do great things, awesome. You know what I mean? But we'll see. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about it. So I had plans on whooping this dude's ass in Atlantic City and then calling out his teammate who already called me out. Not the guy I'm fighting in Atlantic City's teammate, but the guy I fought in Atlanta last. His teammate called me out on social media.
I saw
You saw that?
Yeah.
After he's declined me twice from 2 different promotions, and I have the receipts. I have the screenshots from the promoters saying that he declined me. So to get on social media after I lost to your teammate and try to call me out for a fight. Also, he hasn't fought in 3 years. And you're getting on your social media, and you want to know why he hasn't fought in 3 years? Because he's been in and out of jail 8 times. I have all 8 mugshots screenshot on my phone. So
that's kind of like, I will never call somebody who is a professional fighter and puts their body through that and gets in the cage like a bitch.
It's
But
crazy.
that's kind of a bitch move.
It's a
like,
bitch move, dude.
It's like, oh, you lost to my teammate, so now I'm going to call you out?
Now I think I can beat you.
Now, if you won, completely different.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
It wouldn't-
completely different.
I guarantee that thing would have never. Well, maybe he would have wanted to as well if I did win that fight to maybe avenge his teammate. Yes, you could think of that as well. But like I said, dude, like you can't stay out of jail long enough to put a fight camp together and make it to the cage. You haven't fought in 3 years. So until this is basically how I look at it. I will fight that dude 150%. But you're going to fight somebody first before you fight me because I don't trust that you're going to put a fight camp together and make it to the fucking cage. I just don't, you know? So I'd rather fight in Atlantic City again in June because they have their entire schedule for the year planned out. They got fights in March, June.
June what?
June 7th. Yeah, so a good, pretty good date. It'll be nice.
If we can do a trip, my birthday is the 6th.
Yeah.
So if we can do a trip and then, so my girlfriend can't go with us this time.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could still, I mean, it's completely up to you guys. We could still hit up Philly or something.
For sure, man. I would love to do something
But
like
next
that.
time, too, she'll probably be able to go.
Okay.
And then we can maybe hit up New York after.
Yeah, and it'll be nice, too.
Yeah.
June. Definitely be nice then.
So that'll be cool. So let's talk a little bit about your opponent, though.
Okay.
So what do you know about this guy?
Well, he trains at Nick Catone's place. I know he gets a little training in with Frankie Yeager. Kind of fights like Frankie Yeager, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, his elbows are out a little wide. He stalks forward and you know he is aggressive. You know, and he has some wrestling ability. Seems like a holder though. You know, it doesn't like if he takes the people down, he kind of just sitting on them and holding them there, little pop shots. You know, he's not looking for a finish. And I want to say, I don't think any of his wins are finishes. I think every single win that he has are all decisions, even as an amateur. So he might have one finish as an amateur. But anyways.
So he might have some decent cardio, but just
right,
not finishing.
Yeah, it's
power.
like, where's the danger at? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, you're going to try to sit there and hold me, or you're going to try to, I mean, don't get me wrong, he doesn't, I don't think he hits like a girl either. You know what I mean? He seems like he's got some pop on his shots too, but yeah, I think I'm longer. I definitely hit harder than him, and I think he's gonna have a tough time getting to my legs for his takedown that he wants, and I think he's gonna have a tough time hitting me because my footwork's really good, my hand fighting's really good, the way I parry and stuff. I really think that this matchup is really gonna work out well, and I think we're gonna put on a good show. Like I respect the dude. I think he trains with good dudes. I think that he's a coach himself, so I'm sure he's got a good mind for the game. But the fact is you're just not better than me, so I'm gonna go out there and prove it. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. And you know, we're fighting for a great organization. Ring of Combat's awesome. You know, they really treat you well. I think for the level that I'm at, they pay me pretty well. It's gonna be a great weekend, great week because we're going up there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But
Yeah.
you know, but dude, I would love to go to like New York City or Philly after. I think
Yeah, I've
that'd
never
be
been to either.
especially if we're gonna be driving. I mean, why not make a little pit stop? And I don't think.
I think Philly, my girlfriend said it was like 45 minutes from Atlantic City.
I think so. It's something like that.
And she said if we decided to go into New York that we definitely didn't want to drive
No.
into this. No, because she said in the city to park, you're going to pay like $100 for the day.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so she said that she would.
If we all chip in on that, I guess it's not awful.
Well, no, but she said that you could just take a train from somewhere right outside Atlantic City and go to New York.
Oh, that would be cool too.
And
to
then
take a train.
bring the train back and then stay the night again and then head back the next day or something. But we still got time to figure that out. But yeah, man, I've learned so much. Well, obviously, right, from doing the embedded stuff, and really just being around you guys. And I've kind of taken I'm too old even if I wanted to get into the game to fight.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I just enjoy training. So, I've been doing stuff with Nick, just like hitting mitts and doing privates and stuff like that. And man,
it's super fun, huh?
Dude, it is. It's. I told him today, I was like, I really look forward to this every week. Like, I mean, jiu-jitsu is a stress reliever, right?
Yep. Because you get to go live and you get to
right. But
that.
in jiu-jitsu, motherfuckers will strangle you back.
Yeah.
Sometimes those mitts aren't hitting me back, damn it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And just being immersed in.
And he's a great teacher too, so it's like,
dude,
you're
Nick's
not only
awesome.
getting a great workout, but you're learning shit. And I mean, there's just light bulbs that go off and on. And that's another thing that's changed about this camp is that there's a lot of game plans in every position. Like before, like I said, the hard work was being put in, but I don't know how much of strategizing was going into it. You know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit, but with that opponent change and stuff like that, it kind of made it hard to strategize. And I didn't really have a lot of film on the dude. So it's like, it's tough. And now, but this guy has fought mutual opponents. His fights are on YouTube or whatever, and I've been able to watch him. I've his Instagram's not private, so I can go out there and stalk a little bit, as weird as that is, but let's not act like we don't all do it. We all do it. And it's smart to prepare yourself, what I mean? I mean, the greatest in the world said it when he fought when John Jones fought Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane was sitting there playing FIFA on Xbox, and John Jones is watching his fights because John Jones is the greatest, and he knows that stuff's important to know tells, to know how that person even just presents themselves in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, do they sit back? Do they come forward? Do they like when they're getting pressured? How do they deal with it? What are they when they shoot on a takedown? Is their head on a certain side? Like DK found out about my opponent. There's some tells that he does, and does that mean that he's gonna fight me exactly how he fought the other fighters? No, but there are things that I can look for and things that I can game plan. And it's not even just about what he's doing. It's about what I'm going to do on the feet, the setups that I'm going to use, what I'm going to do if I put him up against the wall. What am I going to do when I take him down? What does he do if he does get taken down? You know what I mean? Like there's all these things that you can look for and capitalize on. And if I'm already ready for him and training like it every single day, when it happens in the fight, it's going to be like, yeah, no shit. You know what I mean? And I'm okay if he fights back and counters and does whatever. It's good. Like, I want to be proud of myself after the fight, so I want to fight someone who's going to give me a fight. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight a dude who's going to keel over when I put him in a bad spot. Right. Would it be nice? Sure. That'd be great. But I know it's not going to happen, and that's what I have to remind myself is that this dude's not going to just bend over for you because you're talented and because you beat everyone up at your gym, and it doesn't fucking matter, And he comes from a solid gym, and I got respect for him, but not when that door closes. He's gonna respect me, and I'm gonna prove it in every fucking position, on the feet, up against the cage, on the floor. I have something for his ass. So
right.
That's what we're coming with, and there's no quitting me at all. And Jay-Z has been screaming it to me every Tuesday when I'm grappling, when I'm in those 5-minute rounds and I got a fresh dude on me every minute. It's like, no fucking quit. You keep moving. Even if I happen to hit my butt for a second and get scooped off the wall, I'm back up on my feet and I'm fighting and I'm fighting and I'm fighting. And that's who I am. And I can't wait to show that shit.
So you had mentioned, watching tape on fighters. What do you say to fighters who say that they don't watch tape? Do you believe it?
I mean, I'm not a big believer in that they got to sit there and lie about it, but it is a little straight. Somebody I think should be watching tape, your coaches or somebody, you know what I mean? So maybe that's part of it. Maybe they don't specifically Well, now I'm not sitting there watching it every day, all day, like thinking about it. Oh my God, he does this, he does this, and he does this, because then you'll get obsessed, and then you might even visualize that happening to you, and then it might really happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the idea isn't to visualize him doing it, is to visualize when he does try to do it. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Is I think some fighters get fixated on like, oh, he's got a really good right hand. Oh, he's gonna hit me with his right hand, and
they almost like overcompensate, like trying to avoid that
exactly,
right hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it just hits you anyways, right?
Yep.
And instead of being worried about it, like just be aware of it, and that's it. That's where it ends. You're aware of it. You understand that it's a possibility. And but yeah, as far as like they don't watch any tape or they didn't look up their opponent or anything like that, it's probably true if they're saying it, but it's also kind of stupid. So
Yeah.
you know, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen just like, Sean Strickland has said it.
I think when you get to that level, it might be a little different because
That's what I was thinking.
Good and
But Strickland, like, he has a way of fighting. You don't see him like come out of, that dude's a boxer.
yeah,
He's not really shooting for takedowns. He might throw. He doesn't really throw a whole lot of kicks.
yeah.
So yeah. So I can't.
It's because
you
he's
can't say
always trying to implement
one-dimensional,
his-
but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like
He's implementing his game plan on the people. He doesn't really care what they're bringing to the table because he's going to stay true to himself and do what he's good at. And I think that's and he likes to fight too. That's the thing. And he enjoys that battle and being in the blood and all that stuff. Like, and he means it. So I think that's also why he's not really keen on switching up his style, because if he happens to be on the losing side of it, he doesn't really care because he thinks at some point in time he's gonna catch him. He's gonna tire that dude out, and he's gonna win. I don't think he wants to switch up his style because he believes his style is the best.
yeah.
So
Well, he's beaten
yeah,
the best.
he's
You know?
he's been at the top of the mountain, that's for sure. And I just think he's better than Duplessis too. Like, I think Duplessis is very, very talented. He wouldn't be where he's at if he's not talented, but I just don't think he should be our middleweight champ.
I will say
I
this.
just don't, dude.
I
I
think
don't.
Duplessis is more well-rounded than
Yeah.
Sean Strickland, for
Yeah.
sure. And I think that's what got him. Now, people can say, I didn't watch the whole fight, right? So I couldn't, really even give an opinion. But I think that might be why he won, Now, granted, all the judges are different, but off the criteria that I know that, whenever I tested and got my certification to be a judge, even though I haven't judged a fight.
Yeah, you can't now.
Right. It's like you can get a takedown, but if you do nothing with it,
Yeah.
if the takedown now is different.
And I'm a wrestler, and I believe that too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, but if I shoot for a single leg and just do some sort of leg drag versus pick you up and slam you, those are different.
Right.
Because one is doing damage and one is not.
Yeah.
And all these things you have to take into account. But so I didn't watch the fight, but I think a lot of the controversy was, well, Duplessis took him down, but he got right back up.
Yeah.
And then people like to talk about control time and aggression, and we've been over that multiple times.
See,
on
but
the
that
podcast.
only
That doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, that's only a factor when everything else is even.
Even.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
And that's another thing that I wanted to ask you about. I'm glad you brought that up. As a fighter, well, I don't even want to ask because I already know your answer, but so I'll just say it.
Yeah.
As a fighter, it is in your best interest to know how fights are scored.
100%.
It's just as much your job and your coach's job to know how fights are scored than it is the person that is reffing your fight and judging your fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you've heard the term work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're in a fight and you take the guy down and you think, oh, I scored points on that takedown and I'm going to score points for just controlling him here, you're fucking yourself.
Yeah. No, it's a nice little add-on, but
Right.
you gotta.
But you have to stay active. Like, effective grappling and striking is doing damage, number one,
Yep.
but also looking for a fight-ending sequence. So if
Right.
you're on the ground and you're grappling, that could be ground and pound. That could be looking for submissions, transitions to submissions, like things like that.
Positions.
Right. So if you take a man down and you're holding him there, but you're popping him,
Right.
you know, it doesn't have to be like crazy ground and pound, you know, but you're popping him with good little shots, good little elbows on the inside or whatever. Like that is effective striking.
Right. And I mean, dude, and I come from wrestling, obviously, wrestled my whole life, and that's the name of the game on top. Like, dude, a lot of the times, like, it's hard to turn that person on bottom, especially when they're not really moving a lot and they're stalling and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. You're, as the top person, you got to be active as well, you know? So you got to come out to the side and you got to not ride parallel. You got to look for pinning combinations, and it's no different than the fight. You have to look busy on top, and, you know, it's not that hard to look busy with little pop shots, posturing up, stuffing things out of your way, and trying to land an effective ground and pound shot, trying to get to a better spot. If you're in guard, try to get to half guard. If you're in half guard, try to, you know, get to knee on belly, side control, mount area. You know, if you have them mounted, start looking for, well, when you're in mountain on the back, I think you're kind of free to make them work because they're in the worst spot you can be in.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's got to be for a good portion of the round, I think, for it to still score well for you. Because, like, you know, what if I got battered on the feet for the first 2 minutes, right? And then I take you down and take your back for the last 3 minutes. That's hard to fucking judge. If you don't really do
any damage.
Right. That's hard to fucking judge, though, because I'm in a dominant position, and I could be fishing for rear naked chokes. I could be throwing little pop shots over here.
But say he did more damage on the feet.
Right.
They're probably going to give that round to him.
Right.
You know, and this is the thing,
but they also
too.
might not remember those 2 minutes in the beginning if that 3 minutes was significant.
They fucking better.
Yeah, right. They better remember, of course, right? But it's like also like a lot of judges, they see at the end of the round like who was dominating the fight, and they're like, oh shit, like I know that dude had a good barrage in the beginning, but he kind of lost it there at the end. Like, I don't know. It's like
it's hard for a fighter, man.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And it's you know, it's easy to say, right? But like we were just talking about knowing the rules, you know. You know, in a jiu-jitsu competition,
right?
You take a guy down and you hold side mount. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You know, you got the points from taking him down. It's up to him to get out of that position.
Right.
Right. And so if you kind of take that and apply it to MMA, right, I think that's where maybe some of the mindset comes from is like, well, I got him down. And although this isn't like a point system, you know, like grappling or whatever, but I got him down. He's in a bad spot. He's going to try to get out. I'm just going to hold him here and use less energy and try to tire this fucker out. Yeah. But the problem is it can work for and against you. And that is like one of like the fucked up parts of fighting. Everything you do can work for or against you.
Yeah.
And you know, if you have a dude down and you're just throwing pop shots, right? But you maybe come up too high on one and then he shoots for an underhook. Next thing you know, you're getting rolled or something. Like,
right.
It's, and all these things are going through a fighter. I know they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. You're getting like hit with elbows from and you're like on top of them and you think you should be grounded, but all of a sudden they're throwing elbows at you and keep pulling down on your head and fucking with your posture. And every time you try to posture up, they're trying to like sit up into you because you got your weight back now, and like so you can put your weight back, you put your head back down on their chest, and you can't really throw effective ground and pound shots with their head on the chest. But every time your head comes off their chest, it's like easy for them to frame you and push you away, and it's like, motherfucker, damn.
and then you know, say that you're in like a half guard situation and you try to, you know, transition to side mount or north south or whatever. Like doing that, I mean, obviously it depends on the skill of the other guy, right? But it could end up putting you in a bad position. Yeah, you know, so it's a lot of back and forth, I imagine, in a fighter's head, and so you know. I do think though that's where knowing the rules can give you an edge or a leg up on the game, you know. So I mean, if you're a fighter, don't do it for me because I don't give a fuck, right? Unless you're Austin or somebody I know.
Yeah.
But do it for yourself. Look up the unified rules of MMA on the American Boxing.
Shit, they might be changing that fucking rule too with the hand down.
They need to.
Yeah.
That rule's changed so much, and it's going to change again and again and again, but they need to.
Yeah, California's about to just take it straight out. If your hand's off the mat, you can just get fucking
Yeah.
with a knee to the head, which is pretty sweet.
But learn the fucking rules, man.
Yeah.
It's only gonna help you, and then it might take away some of this false hope that some of y'all get with, I took him down, he got up, I took him down, he got up, I took him down, and you think that you're getting scored for that. Now, listen, there might be some judges out there that do score it that way, but according to the rules,
land good
or the
shots
criteria,
on the feet and do that, and then you'll win the
round. Like, be active, and again, easy for me to fucking say, right? But just learn the rules. I mean, do yourself a favor, and it's free, right? It costs you no time in the gym. It's no wear and tear on your body. You just take a couple minutes every day to read over it. And if you're a fighter, chances are you already know most of the shit anyway.
Yeah.
There's like 27 fouls that every fighter, it's almost like playing football. As you watch the shit growing up, you don't even have to play it. But the more you watch it, the more you just happen to learn about it, right? So it's the same with MMA.
And in fucking football, man, it's important to know the rules, because if you mess up, you could cost your team big in certain areas of the game and put teams in good field position, put you in bad field position and stuff like that. So rules are important, and they're also there for a reason too.
Well, right, but just watching it, you can learn a lot. I guarantee you the casual MMA fan knows that you can't fish hook. You can't grab the fence with your fingers or your toes.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about the grounded opponent, but you can't knee somebody in the face when their knee is on the mat, or as of now, a weight-bearing hand. Which I thought that was interesting too, because obviously I forget who it was. It was a Russian dude and somebody else on one of the recent UFC cards. Huh?
Was it the Delite fight?
I think so. Maybe he was trying to lift him up and knee him.
And knee him at the same time. Yeah, it was sick. I think it's Imanov is that.
I know it's a Russian guy, so that sounds right.
Dude, that guy is so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. His boxing is
and the
so
awareness
good.
to, I know his hands down, but I'm going to try to lift him up and knee him
at the same time.
But I think where that kind of fucked up is I think he mistimed it a couple times, and the dude's hand might have hit.
Yeah, then he almost went and tried to fight Chris Curtis in the corner. It was like, that's a wild dude. I like Imanov, especially after that fight. I was like, man, his boxing's so crisp. Isn't he? He's like Russian, but he's also doesn't he have French in him too?
Oh, I have no idea, dude. No idea. You look at the dude, you could tell he's Russian, dude. They all have a distinct look, bro. White as fuck, like. Back muscles are outrageous, and like shorter hair and a fucking beard, But yeah, so I from what I understand, I didn't see a whole lot on the. I saw where the guy, the representative for California State Athletic Commission, was saying that he's going to propose to change the rule. Was he saying that just to where a knee is down, or what was he saying?
I think so. I think it was California. They're talking about like just the whole hand being down in general. Like it doesn't matter. Like they have to be like all the way down. Like I would think it would be one knee.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah. And if that knee, but that's how it is already anyway.
Yeah.
So they're saying that if the knee isn't down but the hand's down, fair game.
Right. I think so. At least in California.
And that would keep a lot of people from playing that fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. It was a long time. I mean, this is back when Big John McCarthy was still reffing. And I forget who John Jones was fighting.
I miss seeing him.
But he came out and with like the little spider crawl and walked right up to the dude. And the dude threw a football kick at his head when his hands were on the mat. Yeah. And he looked up at John McCarthy like this. And John McCarthy's like, listen, man, if you want to play the game, you can play it. But I'm gonna allow it.
Right.
Damn, who was he? Was it Machida? I don't know. It was. I think it was a Brazilian guy though that did it. I don't think it was Chael. No way. But in any case, that rule needs to change, and that's something that I think most officials knew. I mean, it's already changed a bunch. Yeah. Most officials knew that time would come. But yeah, man. By the way, I should have said this at the beginning of the episode. DK obviously not here today. He's back out of town. So he was gone a couple episodes ago, dropped his dog off in Florida to get some good old training, and he's on the way back up there to pick his dog up. So he'll be back next week. We're wearing sunglasses just because I wanted to match his energy. His are prescription, so
Yeah, I can see.
mine aren't. So I guess I'm a bit more of a douche. But first time in a long time I've worn sunglasses inside.
It just feels good, and
It does feel nice.
And everyone can say what they want, but you know that if you just had the confidence, you want to do it too, because you don't. It's like having your hood up. It's like a don't. Obviously, with us, it's a little different at this moment because we're quite clearly talking to each other. But it's like the don't talk to me vibe. Like I'm fucking chilling by myself in my shades. I don't want you to see my eyes. I'd put my hood up if I didn't have my snapback on, but you know. That's the vibe I get with it, and it's like, I don't know. I like it. It's gangster.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, so
Takes me
fuck
back
anybody
to the old
judging about
fucking
it.
nights at Broadway.
Yeah.
Going to the club. Back then, though, it wasn't necessarily like sunglasses. There was like the shutter shades.
Okay.
I don't understand how those were even a thing.
Yeah, I remember
Couldn't
them.
see shit.
Can't see shit.
One of those things. We called them hater blockers. I think the whole Jersey Shore thing might have brought that on.
Yeah, for sure.
Gives you a hint of my fucking age.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, appreciate you coming on with me, Austin. It's kind of like a
Absolutely.
last minute thing.
Always enjoy myself on the pod.
Well, we enjoy having you here. And March 2nd?
March 1st.
March 1st.
Yep.
So that's, you fight on a Friday.
I fight on a Friday, yeah.
So hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, it is going to be a long drive home, so I might not be able to get it dropped on that Monday. If not that Monday, which would be the 4th. Yeah, the 4th. Then it'll be on the 5th when your episode of Embedded comes out.
Cool.
Stoked to see how all that plays out. And yeah, man, listen, if you're watching this and you just like this type of content, well, damn it, hit the fucking like button, please.
Yeah.
And subscribe. That'd be cool. We just hit 500 subs. DK wasn't here for this one, so the next one we're doing a giveaway, and the next one we will be announcing the winner of that.
Sick.
If you would like to,
500 subs is pretty cool.
yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't been doing this a year yet, and listen, whenever you come into some shit like this and you're building something on YouTube from the ground up with me and DK don't really have like a online following.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. And I'm actually like stoked that it's kind of, the past 4 months, it's just been steadily, subscriber here, subscriber there, couple here,
We'll make
couple
that
there.
embedded video 6 of people being
Yeah.
able to
Well, I
tune
think
in.
that Embedded's kind of helped out a lot because it kind of started pulling in like a different crowd as well,
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say this though. Like 70-something% of our views are not people who have subscribed. So, just imagine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, right? Like, fuck, dude.
If you're watching, just hit, it doesn't take no time.
Yeah.
It helps us out,
And it's free.
helps them out, and it's free. Just
Yeah.
come on.
Hit it. And God, I'm not gonna. I tease this all the time, and I haven't. It's gonna be a while longer before people know, but we do have some pretty cool guests that we will have on in the future. It's just waiting for the right time. They're busy, and just waiting for the right time. And we tried to get it to where they can be here in person.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely a lot cooler.
yeah, I mean, like we can do the whole thing remote and everything, but I'd rather wait a month or two, have them in person, than do it remote. You know what I mean?
I think so. I think that's the way to
I think
do
it just makes for better content and shit
Yeah, I agree.
all around. And then while they're here, guys like you could really benefit.
Yeah.
Get in some training and shit with them.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
so I don't want to say anything for that reason. But just know that we have some things that we're planning. We will have some merch and stuff that we have soon. So, and then in the future, we might set up like a little online store and have like some rash guards, hats, shirts,
Speaking of merch,
hoodies.
you got to get one of my shirts because we're all going to be wearing them.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Have you already ordered those?
No, not yet. I got to do it either tomorrow or the next day. I got it.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about that right after the pod, and I'll let you know something else. So Austin here, the assassin, Coleman, gonna be a dad soon.
Gonna be a dad.
So I was right. He is
Daddy
assassinating
assassin.
ass.
That's what I do.
But no, man, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
it
you
too.
guys for watching and subbing up and sharing. And till next time.
Thank you.